live. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Willie Styles, representing We Three Kings. Hey, fellas will be joining us momentarily. They're running a little bit behind, but of course, I am the guy you guys come to see anyway. So it is what it is. Listen, we're gonna have some things to unpack today. Of course, it's been an interesting week for Michigan. A lot of coaching situation going on this week that we definitely want to get into. Got some Lions talk, of course, we're gonna get into. Watching the Senior Bowl. There's a couple of particular players that we're looking at that may be a fit. And of course, we're gonna get into some Pistons talk as well. Right now, like I said, waiting on the guys to come in, but until then, you guys, like I said, we can jump off with the Ask the King session. So is there any questions you guys want to ask me while we wait on the fellas to join in? You definitely could do so. I would talk about the Pro Bowl, but that is terrible. If you guys had got a glimpse of watching that today, they need to go ahead and scrap that. If that's what we're going to be expecting to see in the Pro Bowls going forward, we don't need to be seeing that. That was terrible to watch. I watched maybe like the first few minutes, and it's like it's a glorified two-hand touch, and that wasn't entertaining to watch. So I believe that they need to scrap the Pro Bowl. I mean, you can name the guys to the Pro Bowl, make them a Pro Bowl selection, but the Pro Bowl game itself it's become a sham. It's not worth watching anymore. It's definitely flag footballish. I'm not sure what to make of it nowadays. It's not entertaining at all. Where you're used to seeing guys hit the way they do and go out there, and especially with these guys being the best at their position, which they were named to the Pro Bowl, you want to see some Pro Bowl type players. But I understand why, because you don't want to risk guys getting hurt. And if that's the case, just go ahead and scrap the Pro Bowl. Name the guys, but let's scrap the Pro Bowl game itself. We can do the festivities. They can have the whole little competitions, but the game itself is actually worse than all the other festivities that go around with the Pro Bowl, if you ask me. Just I believe scrapping. So if you guys believe the same, or you got any ideas of what they should do with the Pro Bowl, you can leave a comment. What you guys feel that needs to happen with it, because that's definitely terrible in regards to that. So we can't really talk about that, but we can get into some little bit of Michigan, not a little bit. It's a lot to unpack. Um, of course, we had the situation with Harbaugh, returning to Michigan after going in for the Minnesota Vikings position. And in the midst of him going for the position, he returned. Uh, just breaking news today that Josh Gaddis, the offensive coordinator, decided to go ahead and take his talents to South and be the Miami Hurricanes um, offensive coordinator. There's seems to be a bit of rumors and some speculations and some frustrations going on when it came to the Gaddis situation. And right now we're Michigan is in a bit of, in my opinion, a bit of a turmoil. Um, but it's not too bad off. There's options out there, either eternally or externally, that we can look into. But for me, I'm going to say it. This is, in my opinion, the results of Harbaugh. And here I agree with you. This is definitely, I put this on the back of Harbaugh, for the simple fact that he took a risk and it didn't work. I know there's my counterparts, was feeling like, well, he wasn't going to take the job anyway. He was just entertaining, wanted to make the university sweat or make them realize that we made to make some changes, or I'm going. If that's the case, then that's an asshole move to me, because you're putting guys' jobs in jeopardy by doing something that, if you wasn't taken serious, you don't do that type of thing. But I believe he did take it serious. He said he took it serious because this was like his best opportunity to get back into the NFL, which he said, listen, I want to know once I tasted that opportunity to win a Super Bowl, he wanted that opportunity, and this was the best time to do it. So to me, it wasn't a fake out. I mean, if that was a fake out, everybody could have seen that coming. You know, the university, the players, everybody would have seen that, but that wasn't the case. Because if Minnesota would have offered Harbaugh that position, Harbaugh was gone. No doubt in my mind, Harbaugh was definitely gone. But the fact that they didn't offer him the position, okay, yeah, now I'm coming back and I'm going to be fully committed. But the damage was already done because you left your coaching staff in turmoil, which is to me part of one of the reasons why Gaddis decided to go elsewhere because he was already prepared for Harbaugh not to come back, and that it looks like it wasn't going to be a guarantee that he was going to be the next head coach of Michigan. Which, to me, in my opinion, I don't think that he was ready to be in that position. To be honest with you, he was still a young coordinator in itself. He still has some growing to do with the coordinator position. So him gone, it is a negative, but it wasn't like we was losing somebody that was so detrimental that we're not going to be able to recover from. I mean, we lost both our coordinators, one to the NFL, the other one, to another team. But if you watch that game against Georgia, both of our coordinators got outcoached on both sides of the ball. And that comes from the lack of experience because both of those guys had lack of experience. McDonald on defense, this is his first coordinator position. And you've seen that throughout the season. He has some hiccups, particularly in the Michigan State game. Josh Gaddis, this speed and space, it really didn't really formulate like what it was made out to be. We thought we was coming in and seeing a forms of what Alabama and these other high-powered offenses look like, and we really didn't get to see that under Gaddis. To be honest, he he promised us speed and space, but it was a lot of looking to the sideline, burning clock, and then getting the play in. And it showed itself against Georgia when Georgia defense is full of speed demons that we couldn't handle. There was no look of speed and space out there on that field. And on the defensive end, we got out coached because they took our best players, which was our edge rushers, took them out the game, and we didn't adjust from it. So with the coordinators, yeah, if they would have stayed, it'd have been nice for them to get to the next level and see how they was going to progress. But it's not going to, in my opinion, it's going to hurt us that bad. It's not going to hinder us that much. But I look forward to seeing what Harbaugh does when it comes to the coordinator position because he does seem to hire some great coaches. We've lost plenty of coaches before under this Harbaugh regime that he can recover from. So I definitely look forward to that. But I do personally blame Harbaugh. It's not fully on him, but majority of the blame goes to Harbaugh in this situation, in my opinion, because he wanted to take that shot at the NFL, which rightfully so he should. Listen, I don't blame him from doing it, but this is the consequences from that. You go out there, tell the recruits they don't have nothing to worry about, but everybody did. The coaching staff knew, and that's more reason why Gaddis is gone because they're like, if he was offered that position in Minnesota, he was gone. He was gone. He was definitely out the door, but they didn't offer him a position. So I can't. To me, Harbaugh is a stand-up guy, so he wouldn't play with a position like that. He wouldn't play with the NFL. Nobody goes into the NFL to audition for a head coaching position to play around with it, in my opinion. That's the epitome. That's the top of the top that you want to be as a head coach in the NFL. So it definitely has its effects. Now there has been rumors that there are some other coaches that's frustrated with the situation, and there's more to come. There may be some players that may be frustrated and decide to leave or decommit. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how that plays out, see how things turn out. But this is something, Harbaugh definitely will have to take a look into and really, bring the guys back into the fold, because that shot he took, it did hurt. It did hurt. It hurt the program, it hurt the coaches, it hurt the culture. But he's in his right to do so. Like, if you want to get a chance to get into the NFL, go for it. And he went for it. I think he believed that this was his best shot. I don't believe he may have believed that the position in Minnesota was his to lose. But obviously that was the wrong impression. And he ended up coming back and say, "Hey, listen, I'm you guys to as long as you want me," which I believe everybody right now wanted him to come back. Nobody really wanted him to leave. So let's mend these fists and get things on the board. Look into seeing what new defensive coordinators, what new offensive coordinators is out there. It's definitely going to be an interesting time for Michigan. We've been really dealing with some losses this week. Not just on the football field, but on the basketball side as well. Michigan, played Purdue this past weekend, and it was a good game. It was a good game, but it didn't pull it out. They've really been up and down this season. Honestly, I believe that it's Hunter Dickerson a bust right now. Really haven't seen nobody else be consistent on that Michigan basketball team to where we could make some noise. It's scary to me because I believe the way they are, if they don't get a momentum going, they may miss the tournament this season. So it's definitely going to be an interesting time around Michigan. And I don't know if you guys heard some rumors. I don't want to get on here and talk about it with the Josh Gaddis situation. It's the reason why he left, or the reason why he had a little bit of sanctions. I believe he was taken off of the recruiting trail last season for some what the University of Michigan believed was some inappropriate activity with the recruits and their parents. So it is allegedly. So I don't think I can delve too much into it. But you guys, you see the rumors. You're on the Twitters. You're on all the platforms and the chats, and you can see there was something there. If you noticed that there may have been a little bit something there that they didn't trust Gaddis all the way to be the next leader because of some of the actions that he took during those recruiting trips. Well, Harold, yeah, that we did get to the postseason. I'm not sure if we would say it's a step back, because honestly, if I'll say like this: if we'd have won this season, more likely those guys were going to be gone anyway. When you win, that's when the poachers come. That's when the poachers come. So those guys was more likely going to be gone anyway, because they accomplished what they set out to accomplish, and that was, win the Big Ten title and national championship. It's just that the Harbaugh, him trying to go to the NFL, pushed him out the door a bit sooner. And I believe that's why McDonald and Gaddis are gone, because they had a sense that Harbaugh was pushing to be gone too, and they didn't want to be left in the wind. And I believe throughout this time, while Harbaugh was working his way to Minnesota, Gaddis was getting worked on by Cristobal down in Miami, in which he went ahead and pulled the trigger, because I believe they are probably offering him a little bit more money and a little bit more freedom than what we have here at Michigan. So we um, definitely something that we want to want to look into in regards to who the next coordinator would be. If you guys want to, if you got some ideas, what you guys think who our offensive defensive coordinator should be, definitely leave us a shout out in the comments. And while you do so, let me give some shout outs to the guys that's rocking with me right now. You guys is helping me out while my guys get ready to come in. D Williams, he's the first guy in, man. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for joining us. Joshua Austin, you always rock.
And Skip D. Williams.
Dominic, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Sorry I'm
What's
late.
happening with you?
Nothing much, man. Had to finish up and make some McDonald's fish olays. Myself at home with this cod, so it took a little bit longer.
Mm, I see, I see. Well, yeah, I was just on here just entertaining the fellas. We got into some Michigan talk, of course.
Ah,
You know, in regards to the Harbaugh situation and the offensive defensive coordinator situation. So I know they're tired of hearing my mug for a minute. So what's your take on it,
I mean,
Killian?
with the whole situation, I still don't understand what Harbaugh was doing. I feel like yeah, you can look at it and say, hey, maybe he was trying to prove a point. Maybe he was trying to muscle Michigan or whatever it may be. I don't know. I wouldn't have took it that far if I'm Harbaugh. But like I said, I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? The Gaddis situation, I heard, I was watching, I heard exactly what you said. I totally agree with that situation. Maybe that does have something to do with it. But Harbaugh's here. Now we go out, we go and find us, two coordinators, man, and keep this thing rolling. I don't know how long we're going to keep Harbaugh around, to be honest. Like I said, we're in the stage right now where a lot of people don't want to say the word rebuild, but we gotta build this defense back up. We lost some big pieces. You know what I'm saying? So even though these young guys played, man, I don't know what the Michigan Wolverines are going to be this upcoming season. So
Well, for me, it wouldn't be a rebuild. It would be a retool. But the issue is that this is going to be their third coordinator in 3 years on defense.
right,
So we got some guys that got experience, but then they're gonna have to break in a new defensive scheme unless they bring elevate somebody within and keep the defense going. But there's room for improvement on both ends of the ball. And when it comes to court, and that's what I was mentioning to the guys before you got in, that um, good as the season that we had, there was always room for improvement on both sides of the ball when it comes to the coordinator position. So it wasn't like these guys were slam dunk, like we couldn't live without them. There's some great quality coordinators that can come in and fill this position and add on to what we have because we got talent on both sides of the ball, particularly on that offensive end. I know there's going to be coordinators salivating at getting at the offense, the weapons that we have
yeah. And
this season.
me and you both, even though Big A may have felt a little bit different in the first half of the season or so, but me and you both were saying the same thing pretty much when it came to Gaddis and the offense. We just felt like it was another gear that they can kick in. And like I said, unfortunately, it took to the very end of the season for that to happen. So, like I said, it's not like Gaddis was just that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I'm not really missing it as much. Hopefully we can go out and do our due diligence and get a guy in here, man, that brings, that innovation that we was talking about to this offense. And, like I said, we want to compete with the big boys, man. We got to do big boy things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. And I believe we need to get the guy in with experience. The thing with Gaddis, he was still learning on the job. This was his first coordinator position, elevating from, coming from Alabama. So he was still learning. But I believe right now with the type of talent that we have, we need experienced coordinator to come in and just, you know, really put this offense on the map. Like I said, I agree with you, King. Me, you both are saying that the offense was really starting off slow and methodical, and to the end, when he really started opening up, I guess when he started trusting the players or whatnot, or he may have been holding back. I'm not sure, which I don't believe he would have, because if he would have, he'd have been more open in that playoff game against Georgia, because we really got shut down.
yes,
Offensively, we got shut down. We really didn't have. We didn't really didn't have a chance in that game,
yeah,
offensive wise and defensive wise. I said that um, we got out coached because they ran schemes and took our biggest weapons away from us where we couldn't we couldn't do nothing with it. So offensive wise, defensive wise, like I said, once again, there was opportunity for growth. And I look forward to seeing, what these coordinators going to do. But it does put a black eye on Michigan right now because like it is off season. It's about the only thing that's being discussed college football wise. So it's going to bring, some unwarranted attention towards Michigan, but I believe that, with Harbaugh, he has that charisma to bring some guys in. And this Michigan program, guys want to be here. Coaches want to come here.
Yeah.
So I believe that he's definitely going to bring some real good coordinators, because he's always have. If you look at it, he has no issue bringing coordinators in. We've had some good coordinators come in. It's just a matter, them coming in and getting right within the system.
Yeah, and like I said, when you got those type of, situations where Michigan went where they went this past season, man, it just makes that much better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who wouldn't want to come and be a coach in a big house? You know what I'm saying? Especially when we're successful again. So, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, and the process and getting these coordinators in here. Hopefully, we can, get 2 strikes and get these guys in here. I want to say something real quick. I got some packaging real quick. Got cards, names written down. Got the envelopes. Got a couple ready like this one. They'll be going out tomorrow. Some of you guys send me information without zip codes. I need your zip code. Harold, you sent me nothing. I do not have yours. I got names to cross off. Listen, I got a bunch still to give. I don't know if y'all don't want y'all stuff, but y'all gotta give me the stuff I need so I can send them out to y'all. I got the envelopes, the stamps. I'll be sending out some out tomorrow. So make sure you hit me up tonight with your info.
Indeed, yeah, because I definitely want to get these get these trinkets, these these valuables to you guys. So as far as Michigan goes, like you said, we look forward to these upcoming. We see what happened with the coordinator position. See how Harbaugh going to fix this turmoil that he, in my opinion, caused.
Right.
Right. But I know a big A attorney at law for Harbaugh. He's going to have a different opinion about it. I wish he was better to be on, but I think he got some family activities going on right now himself. But he's going to have a different opinion. But we'll say that for another time. If you decide to jump in, we can get back into it. But hey, we'll take a little break and then we get a little Pistons talk real quick. What you feel about that, King?
Absolutely. I already seen some of the comments, man. Let's give the people what they want.
Let's do it. Let's give them what they want, man.
W3 King. W3 Kings in the building at Culture Detroit.
Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard.
Hey, be careful what you ask for. I'm like Candy Man. You speak my name once, I pop up.
First of all, you don't jump in here looking like a big Yeti.
Hey, listen, jump in here looking like a big Beetlejuice.
Hey, don't speak Big 8 name. It don't take 3 times. I pop up on 1 time.
Look at him. So King, man, we got Pistons talk wise, man. Jump us off.
All right, obviously we coming fresh off the game. I know you see the comments. They keep talking about a certain player. Obviously, we'll get into that. But let's talk about the game first. The Pistons fought first half. Kept the score close, back and forth. They brung the energy when it seemed like the Timberwolves didn't. But in the second half, the defensive effort was terrible. You know what I'm saying? It ended up eventually causing them this game, especially in the fourth quarter. It seemed like Trey Lyles and Kelly Olynyk just wanted to shoot. They didn't play defense. The perimeter defense was terrible. I think Frank Jackson hurt his hip a little bit. So it just got bad. And, like I said, the Timberwolves was able to stretch out that lead. Obviously, the highlight of the game probably was that fourth quarter performance, but with Saddiq Bey and Killian Hayes, the growth moments. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple of posts from Dwayne Wade from post. Not Dwayne Wade, good Lord. Dwayne Casey from post game. Some of the things he said about the situation. The drive-by and dunk. Like I said, it was the reason why we said put him on the bench and let him come at and do things his pace, you know what I'm saying? But Dwayne Casey confirmed some things today. I'm going to read a few of these quotes to you right quick that Dwayne Casey said after the game. Okay. So, for instance, before the game today, this is what he says about Killian Hayes. Killian has only played 23 more games than Cade Cunningham. We will continue to work with him. His shooting will come. I have all the confidence in the world. That was a statement before the game. Interesting enough, he had the performance he did in the fourth quarter. After the game, these are the statements. Dwayne Casey, he's 19? I have shoes older than him. Tonight, Killian Hayes had growth. When you hold your own against Patrick Beverley, that's growth for him. Also, really, he's a rookie. He's played 25 games last year, so he's basically a rookie. Tonight was growth that we expect from him. And this is some of the things that I was talking about with him, and also Troy Weaver saying the same thing. He wasn't drafted to come out year one and be the stud offensively, but you're seeing him grow, and especially off this bench role, because you've seen games where, he's able to at least attack the basket. Tonight was one of his best games attacking the basket. He did it about 4 or 5 times tonight, including the dunk play that everybody keep talking about in comments. So, it's not like he was a world beater out there, but it was just the growth that made people happy about it. Now you have a situation where we're waiting on Cade Cunningham to come back into that starting lineup. And, we got a chance to go out in this coming up week in free agency and add something to this team to help. We seen what the Cavaliers did today, and going out and adding another guard, a little injury prone, but Karis LeVert to the Cavaliers, man, for a bunch of picks. And what's the Italian kid's name? I can't even think right now.
Rubio.
Yeah, Rubio. Yeah, Rubio. So yeah, we got an opportunity. Obviously, we still want those Patrick Williams. We want those, some of those names we've been hearing. But today, Mitchell Robertson came up. So that's another guy that the Pistons seem to be interested in. We'll see what they do. So today's performance, man, good first half. Second half, just did not bring it on the defensive end, man. That perimeter, they just did not defend the perimeter, and it ended up causing them.
So, what I'm saying is that has been an issue of the Pistons all year. It's just being able to play consistently for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And, and that's on both ends of the ball, because there's times where they go on offensive drops as well. And watching these games against Minnesota, they played Minnesota, twice this week. You see them battling with Minnesota, going back and forth, and then it's a stretch where they allow Minnesota to get a big lead, and then they're fighting their way back and get close and to the end, and then they're not able to pull it out. And that's seemed to be the theme of the Pistons these last several games, is that they'll either come out firing or they come out flat and then pick it up. A lot of these games, you see that the starters come out flat and the bench pick them up.
Yep.
I mean, more or less the last week or so.
Yeah.
You look forward to the bench coming in and making noise than the starting lineup have.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of unfair. I kind of, what I said about Olynyk, don't take it as I'm saying Olynyk is just playing bad. Olynyk's been out, what I'm saying? So he needs his grace period to get himself going.
Work back in.
Yeah, right. And get comfortable with the guys out there in the offense, things like that. So, got to be fair with that situation. Yeah, we know he's not going to play defense. We knew that walking in the door. He's not no guy that's defending the paint for you. So, like I said, the Pistons got a chance to go out in this trade deadline and try to add a big to help. So, like I said, the consistency, just like you were just saying, man, it's something that's going to have to come the more games they play together. Like I said, we look at it, we get Olynyk back, we get Grant back. Now Cade goes out. We just cannot have consistent play with our team.
Right.
It's Russian roulette with who's starting and who's not.
And yeah, and once we do, I believe, like I said, I feel that we got some things going. I want to add into this, in regards to the Killian situation. Yeah, he had a great fourth quarter today, but I want you guys to also, as much as you guys want us to give patience on Killian, you guys also got to give patience on excitement for Killian. It's like I feel that a lot of guys it's like that's their Killian is everyone's baby. They want him to see so bad. So when he finally gives a glimpse, it's like, oh, he's finally come along, and then there's a stretch where you don't hear anything from him.
Oh yeah.
The thing with Killian, and that's the reason why it's good for him to get off the bench, is because it allows him not to have to keep on that pressure. But at the same time, right now, it's up to him.
Yeah.
There's nobody else. I know there's a lot of people at the beginning of the season. Oh, he wasn't getting enough time. Other players was getting in his way. They didn't have nothing for him. He's given the opportunity right now to be where he needs to be, and it's on him. But I do want guys to be able to be patient on the Killian hype. It's like we're hyped for him today. He did it.
I'm not going to say they hype just because of the performance today. They're hype about the future. You know what I'm saying? It's the future that they're looking at. And
that's why I say you have to be patient on that, King, is because
you got to give credit when credit is due, though.
Yeah, you give him credit today, but then we gotta string along. He got to string along more than what we see today. It's like you can see the potential, but it's like it's a glimpse, and then it's like, chew, it goes down. And at some point in time, he has to be consistent with it for us to be like, okay, yeah, I can see the future. But right now, that right there, that's a future bench player performance, in my opinion.
Who's consistent on the Pistons?
Right now, who's consistent? The guy you talked about earlier, Trey Lyles. Am I wrong? He's been the most consistent these last couple of weeks. He's been the most consistent.
Yeah,
and like you said, nobody has been, but for him, for his growth, it's one game and then it's a stretch of 5 or 6 that is not. And that's what I mean. I need more of a stretch to see him more than just this game, and then we don't see him do that again for another week or two.
I mean, but the reason why people are excited right now, because since he's been on the bench, it's been 4 out of 5 games where it's been a solid stretch of solid play from him. And that's what he's talking about. It's the small steps forward.
I have to disagree with Marvin on this one. Corey Joseph has not been consistently bad. If you have been watching the game, he has not been consistently bad.
This is what you got to understand, Marvin. In the box score, in the stat sheets, it looks that way. When you're watching the game, Corey is the biggest liability on defense on this entire team. He's not a guy that's going out there making the offense flow either. That's just not what he's doing. Yes, he's knocking down his open threes. He is doing that. But it's still like for what he's doing good on the offensive end, on the defensive end, it's worse to me. It's just worse to me. And that's just my opinion about it. Corey,
and that's the get and give of this team, because you got offensive minded guys and then you got defensive, minded guys that we have to blend, which we know that Corey Joseph, he's not a starter. He's a fill-in. Right. He comes in, he's going to fill in and do his position. That's the reason why he have him starting over Killian, because he's an offensive guy going, and then you switch it out for defense when Killian comes in. Same with Isaiah Stewart. He's a more defensive guy, and then you switch him out with Kelly Olynyk, or I would say Trey Lyles, for the offensive thing. That's a balance. That's what was expected to be about. But my issue is that, and people were doing this, if you looked on the, in the chats in the, Twitter, is that they were putting as if it was Kojo's issue or Kojo's fault that Killian wasn't progressing.
No,
and I don't believe that.
And that totally wasn't the reason why. The reason why was simply he was just not being put in a great position from the beginning, thrusted into that starting lineup. Like I said, you throw him in the starting lineup, you expect a lot out of him. This guy is not coming from college.
No.
And then Dwayne Casey makes the statements like he makes today, where he's pretty much a rookie. So why did you throw him in that position in the first place? You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
But see, I had to ask you a question on that particular comment there, King, because you've been saying like he wasn't brought in to come in and do things right away. We need to be patient and develop him. Why pick him at number 7 if that's the case?
Because Troy Weaver himself said he's not trying to build something that's going to, just happen overnight. He's trying to build something for longevity. And if Killian Hayes gets up to that 15 to 17 point per game range, in 2 to 3 years, you're not in a bad place. You're going to go through 2 to 3 years of rebuilding anyway. So why not? Because number one, he's your best defender on this team. Whether you want to like it or not, he's your best defender on this team. He's your best passer on this team. So, and he also rebounds as a guard. He just has to score points. So, obviously,
and that's the thing they were saying is if like his offense has to catch up with his defense, which him, like you said, coming off the bench is a more relaxed thing for him to do, so that the pressure won't go on to him as much. But I believe what people's frustration is, and I believe like the fan base, most fan base is the fact that okay, we got this guy that's not offensive minded, that we got wait to see his office going, picking it in the lottery. This wasn't a lottery worthy pick. This is a pick that if we were going to have a project, most guys who are a project is either later in the first round or a second round pick. So why not get somebody that's, like you said, in the lottery, that's not going to be a project that could come in and make some things happen right away?
I mean, there's been a lot of number 5, number 6s, number 7s, 8s, 9s, 10, whatever you want to call it in the lottery. Wherever you draft somebody in the draft is a crapshoot. I mean, let's just be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? It's really a crapshoot. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a person that puts the position that you were picked at as a reason why you should be super successful. I mean, come on, we talking about a league where we've seen guys like Kwame Brown. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally a crapshoot. Whether you take them first, whether you take them 7th, whether you take them 19th. Listen, you're drafting this player because you see the type of team that you want to build in the future. What Dwayne Casey has been talking about all year, that this defense is solely based on getting these guys to play defense. That is year 1 of the developmental process. Defense, defense, defense. So you got a bigger guard. You got a guy that plays defense. You got a guy that control the floor with the basketball. You got a guy that can pass the hell out of the ball. What is such the biggest problem with waiting 2 to 3 years till his guy develops his offense?
I believe I can answer that for you, King. If that was the case, and this is on Troy Weaver, he should have had a guard in place to be able to allow us to be patient.
He did, but
they let Derrick Rose go, right? They let him go.
And sympathy. I mean, come on, you can't keep Derrick Rose.
No, because we're in a rebuild, and he's at the point in his career where he's going to, go to a team that's going to be playoff bound or championship bound.
Yeah.
But Troy Weaver, if that was the case, off-season wise, outside of trying to get Corey Joseph in, they should have signed, in which I believe they need to. That's a big factor they need to do in this offseason, is sign a point guard that can come in, that can fill that starting role, that's a starter-worthy point guard that allows Killian that time to grow. And I believe that's where a lot of people's frustration come in at, is that he was thrust into the starting lineup right away, which you and I and others believe that he shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But we didn't have nobody in place to be able to say, okay, let him go back and learn and sit behind somebody and get taught. This point guard game, let's bring somebody in that he can sit behind, to where we won't be so hard up, because we got this guy, the number 7 pick, and there's other guys behind him that you're seeing making moves. So I believe that's on Troy Weaver. If they wasn't bringing him in to to jump in right away and let's look towards the future. We needed somebody in right now to be able to hold it down while he gets his, his time in.
Unless you want your team to be kind of mix and match bad in order to continue to build. You see what I'm saying? The Pistons ain't like, I keep saying this over and over. They are not trying to flip this thing over in 1 or 2 years. That's not the plan. You know what I'm saying? In an NBA game of NBA 2K, maybe that works. But Troy Weaver is trying to build something over time. For instance, I see what you're saying, 0-16, but we in a new day now where fans want it right now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Chauncey, it took him 6-7 years to get to the Chauncey we knew. It took Ben Wallace 6-7 years to get to where we knew him. You know what I'm saying? Fans don't have the type of patience. Yeah, and then when you look at it, we should have drafted Halliburton. We knew Halliburton could shoot the ball. Right. We didn't know Halliburton was going to be going out.
But you also gotta realize this too, King. When you speak on the Billups and the Wallace, these guys went through multiple teams before they got their shine. Yeah, and that's something that we don't want to do. We don't want to lose him.
We're not expecting him to take 5 to 6 years. That's what I'm pointing out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pointing out those guys just because those are some of the Pistons fans' favorite guys.
Right. And they had to find
the journey that it took for them guys to get here. You know what I'm saying? So whether it took 1 to 5 years, I mean, they got traded a lot. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly. Exactly.
A while to come into their own, man. But that's not the plan with Killian Hayes. It's not no 5 or 6 year deal.
Speaking of coming into your own, you see your boy, your boy Stanley Johnson out there balling out for the Lakers.
Yeah. You just sometimes it takes time with some guys, man.
It does, but in most but the thing is this league you don't have the time because the coaching and the GMs don't have the time either. If these guys become bust year after year, coaches lose their jobs. Yeah. GMs lose their jobs behind it. So it is pressure for them to.
The entire league of collective GMs have been praising Troy Weaver's process, though. So,
but the reason why I say they praise him, King, is because of Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bey delivering the way they have been. If them two didn't deliver like they had been, I think it'll be a different story.
Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bey had some trouble this year. They are now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for last season because
we're about 2 weeks past of where the fan base was asking for people to trade Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah,
they were saying trade Sadiq Bey.
Yeah,
the Pistons kept them. They kept the patience and said, "Hey, we're gonna give these guys time. We're not about to go out here and do nothing drastic. We're going to let them play an entire season and actually develop." This is a cuss word in Detroit.
But see, that's what I was basing off of what they were coming off of last season because both of them made all rookie teams.
Right.
So they, even though people was talking about let's trade them, which was asinine, when you got two guys coming off of all rookie performances, their growth is only going to go up from there. No, that'd have been stupid. But if we're going to praise Troy Weaver, that's why. Those guys, them picks are why. And then, like you said, it's eventually and hopefully so. And I'm hoping that this do come into fruition that we give him the ultimate praise that Killian finally comes around. But what's saving Killian and what's saving Troy Weaver, honestly, to me, is Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart, getting them guys in the second round. They playing like first round guys right now.
Yeah. Whereas, like I said, 20 more games that Cade Cunningham played for Killian Hayes. So we got a whole half a season left. Let's just get through this half a season, you know what I'm saying, and see where we go with this situation. Like I said, everybody just doesn't take off the way you expect them to when you first come in this league. I mean, anybody heard from Jalen Green? Have anybody heard from Jalen Green? Well, this guy was supposed to be the next Kobe and all of this and everything else. It's going to take him a couple of years to get his body together and get his game together.
Yeah, some come ready, some don't. That's the gist of of the draft is like some guys you see that you think will come in and be ready, and it takes them time to do so. Some guys, it may a couple years down the road, and it may not be with the team they drafted them on. So we're going to see. But Big A wanted to talk about this Mitchell Robertson interest with the Pistons. What you feel about that, King?
I like Mitchell Robertson a lot. He's a Piston type. You wouldn't have to give up a lot for him. You know what I'm saying? So I got no problem with Mitchell Robertson. Guys like Mitchell Robertson, Patrick Williams, those type of dudes, I have no problem with the Pistons making those moves. I just don't want to give up too much to get them. You know what I'm saying? For instance, what do you think about this trade with the Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers? Do you think they gave up you think they got swindled, or do you think they gave up too much to get Karis LeVert?
No, I think it was actually a good deal. I think it's a good deal. It'll only be a bad deal if Karis LeVert goes down with injury again. Because Karis LeVert upside for the last couple, even in Brooklyn, they had to give up Brooklyn had to give up a lot to trade. Karis LeVert out of there because his potential and his growth and his ability out of nowhere can have some hell of a games. So it definitely would have been he was going to start somewhere. He's going to, and with Karis LeVert, he's the all-star caliber player. Yeah. The only reason why he's not an all-star is because of injuries.
Man. That's
for me, I was hoping that because I know they're kind of doing like a fire sale a little bit, maybe in Indiana. I was hoping like maybe the Pistons could take a swipe at Karis LeVert.
I don't want to. It is so Pistons for us to go and get a guy with injury issues.
There we go. Okay.
For us to do that. I want somebody in with a clean injury history. I don't want no chances, bro. I really don't, man. Because like I said, it's like a theme with the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? We always going to get this guy that got this injury issue or injury history, and it ended up turning out bad for us. You know what I'm saying? Where this person missing time and things like that.
Like your boy here.
Yeah.
Your boy here. Yeah. Because you was heavy on this one, this guy Miles Turner.
Because the thing is with Miles Turner, man, Miles Turner, to me, he fits everything. He fits everything. Even with Thomas Bryant, when you look at that situation with Thomas Bryant. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a situation where, I just want them to get a big, man. I want them to get a big, man.
But we all do, but,
man.
Bigs is honestly, if you look at bigs, are hard to come by nowadays.
They are.
Good bigs, like good bigs, and I know Big A, he's watching, and I know his top guy, which to me would be my top guy too, would be Ayton.
It's Ayton, but I don't think he's leaving the Suns, man. I just don't.
I don't know, King. He might not leave Suns, but Pistons gonna have some money to throw at that young man.
Yeah, restricted free agency, man. I just think the Suns gonna make that. They're gonna make that match, man. I just do. I don't know why.
Leave JaVale McGee where he at. He's cool, but he's not gonna be. He's not starting. We need somebody. I believe we looking for a starting big.
Yeah, we not looking on the championship team for JaVale McGee and playoff team. Sure, not in this situation though.
And he's an offensive liability too.
Yeah.
So defensive wise, offensively, we needed a big that can help down there in the paint and be offensive wise helpful at two. And Ayton fits that bill.
And that's the thing with Turner, Joshua. Yes, he is, man. But man, I don't know the headache. I don't know, the type of attitude he's going to have. That's why I kind of been retracting my statements, man. But I was heavy on Turner, just simply because what he provides, man. But him and his pops, I don't know, bro.
And also, what about your boy Beasley over there in Sacramento? I think they're gonna blow that up, in my opinion.
Oh man, I don't know, man. With Sacramento, and then De'Aaron Fox unfollowed them today or yesterday.
They are guard heavy over there in Sacramento. That definitely would fill a void for us here at that. They got some starting point guards over there that can come over that can score. Their guards can score over there for sure.
Now, I got who is now. Is Jaren Jackson a restricted free agent coming up?
For Memphis?
Money.
You talking about for Memphis?
Memphis, yeah.
I'm not sure. But Memphis is going to lock him up. It don't even matter.
Like I said, I'm brainstorming going around.
Whether he's restricted or unrestricted, they're going to sign or give him an extension before he even get to that point because they want to. That Memphis over there is dangerous. That Ja Morant, man, he has elevated himself to.
He just got an extension. Okay, I thought he did.
Yeah, Ja Morant, man.
Pondering, man, thinking about some of the bigs around the league. Yeah, no, I know I've seen the thing.
I know Big A would like this one.
Who?
Bring Christian Woods back.
Oh, Christian Wood back, man.
The issue is now with Christian Woods is that he's starting to be injury prone.
Yeah. Like I said, on them type of teams, man, you don't know how much of that stuff is 100% authentic. Some of them dudes don't be wanting to deal with them squads, man. They sit out longer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. Yeah, he got extended. Yeah. Guys, you got guys like Ayton. For some reason, some people believe that Miles Turner is an option. I honestly think he's just gonna stay where he's at.
I don't know. Because Miles, I believe Miles Turner time in Indiana, it didn't ran its course, in my opinion. Because I don't see him fitting with Indiana.
No. Correction. I meant to say Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges. Oh, Miles Bridges getting extended too.
He's gonna get the extension.
He's getting extended too.
Jordan does some dumb things, but I don't think he's gonna do something that stupid. So he's gonna get his extension, man.
Yes, Marvin, bring Plumlee back.
No.
That was King's guy right there. That was his favorite guy. That's all King talked about last season was Mason Plumlee this and Mason Plumlee that. Oh man, we need to bring him back. But we also could look into the draft. We got to look into the draft.
Right.
Seeing what our position is going to be. There's a couple of right now it's forward/center heavy, the top, portion of the draft. Yeah. If we're in that top portion, listen, if we're in the top 5, in my opinion, I believe we're going to fill a need. Because there's 4 or 5 players right out there right now that if we're in that 4 or 5 slot, we're gonna be all right in drafting them. We're gonna be this draft this year. We don't even need to have the number 1 pick, in my opinion.
Who you drafting, Willie?
Oh,
you drafted. You seen Chet performance? What was that last night before?
Yeah, 20 and 17.
Yeah,
that's how. Listen, and then he's a trail big. So imagine Killian getting out there, getting ahead of the game, and he kicked back to Chet. Chet pull up for the 3. Oh, that looks nice. Or Killian, not Killian, but K. Running the court. Or Chet could bring the ball up and dish it out too. Chet brings so many different variables to a position of big that we could definitely use.
Those 3, man. I say it's gonna be hard. Those 3, whichever 3 they get, man, it's just gonna be what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you got what you got from different guys. Chet, obviously we know the knock on Chet. But that's not something that's gonna last forever. We've seen some guys walk in this league bony. And
he's not, right. We got some.
He's also tough bony though. He's not a frail little bony dude. He's tough. You know what I'm saying?
He's wiry. It's not like if you're watching him, he blocks shots too because of that frame. And it's not a lot of, like I said, it's not a lot of nights where he's gonna have to deal with banging with big guys. We got Jokic and you got Embiid, and then there's everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Anthony Davis only played 7.5 games a season, so you ain't got to really worry about that. When you got a guy like Chet is, he blocks shots because he knows how to use his length.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a 7-footer. He's an athletic 7-footer.
He has footwork. He has the footwork, guys. He has the footwork because he can bring the ball up too. He's I would say he's an elevated Bol. He's what Bol was predicted to be like, in my opinion.
You want Ivy? I'm not impressed by Ivy like that, man.
I watched him yesterday, but he's good. But free throws is what's going to kill Ivy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Him not being able to knock down consistently with the free throws. His ability to get to the get to the paint, but he's not, to me, he's not a top 10 lottery pick.
He's just not to me.
And it's not something that we don't need to, in my opinion, we don't need to draft a guard.
No.
We need to sign a veteran guard, but we don't need to draft a guard at all, in my opinion, at least not in the first round. Maybe second round we could draft a guard, but not with that first pick. We need that 4/5 guy.
Yeah.
And if we could, get my guy Kofi Cockburn.
That's hard.
Did you see his game the other day? He had 37. He was a force.
Yeah.
And I'm joking, but the man got size. The man got strength.
Yeah, he do.
And if he could work on his free throws, yeah, he'll be an addition. I'm not sure right now if he's a lottery pick or not, but the guy is a force. I've been joking around about his name and all, but if you really watch and pay attention to his game, he's a force down there. He's definitely a force down there. So it's definitely something that this draft we're going to look forward to wherever we're going to pick at. I don't think we need the pressure of the number one pick this draft, in my opinion.
I don't think we're going to get it. I think Orlando's going to get it.
Think so?
Yep.
They may. They may, but we don't need the pressure because
Cavaliers and get lucky and get it again. But I think it's going to end up being Orlando.
Doing get it back to back. Cleveland was the last team to get it back to back. Then before that, it was Orlando, actually, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, that was the last. It was Orlando. Then it was Orlando was the reason why we had the ping pong balls, because them two got it because they ended up getting it back to back. Drafting Shaq and C Webb back to back years. Shaq and C Webb back to back. Wow.
Definitely going to be jockeying for position with them in Houston once again.
But either way, like down in that top 5, to me, is going to be it's definitely going to be, we're going to be in a good position, in my opinion. So I'm not worried about positioning, because any 4 of the guys that's right now that we're seeing that's starting to separate themselves is going to be a fit.
I just thought about something while we're talking about Orlando. Mo Bamba's restricted free agent. Would you like Mo Bamba?
If the price is right, yeah, but I haven't seen enough of him offensively to say. I don't know. Hey, yeah, I can.
Like I said, I'd take him for the right price.
Yeah, for the right price, yeah.
I'd take Mo Bamba for the right price, most definitely. Like I said, when you look at those teams, though, as far as what we consider top heavy in forward center, in this draft, I don't know, man. Do you think a guy like Ivy goes higher simply because of who's picking in those positions? He just might, and it might be a put the Pistons in a better position to get the guy that they want.
Right.
So, like I said, we have to see how them lottery balls fall, man. Tell us everything.
It's going to be an interesting off season, because, like I said, we got, we're going to have the highest salary cap out there. We had to attack free agency and then the draft. So we're projecting in the right direction. That's why I was so adamant about not trading Grant away.
Yeah.
Like, we're in a good position. For one, if we draft somebody that's, plays that same position as Grant, if the guy develops, then we can move on from Grant, because we only have him for 1 year. And if he don't develop, at least we got Grant to fall back on still. Yeah. And then we can give the guy another year. So we don't need to have addition by subtraction anymore. Let's build as much as possible weaponry. Like, we need weapons. As you can see this season, we need weapons. And let's not trade away a weapon just for draft picks.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant is a weapon.
Another thing the Pistons need is Consistency on that roster.
But I think consistency, I believe consistency will come once they get healthy.
I mean, Cade come back, then somebody else gonna bruise a pinky.
We need consistently healthy players. That's what we need. Let the players be consistently healthy. That's what we need.
Now let's talk about this real quick, because this is something that's come up a lot, man, on my channel. What do you think about Cade being vegan? Do you think him being vegan plays a part in, you know, how sturdy his body is, or how sturdy his body will be? Do you have a question about him being vegan?
No, not at all, because Chris Paul went vegan and extended his career, and it put him at an all-star level. Still, I mean, he was already at all-star level, but you know, during this time period of his career, usually they goes on a decline. But Chris Paul went vegan, and it extended his career, and it kept him at an all-star level.
Well,
having you know, and it depends on the person. You know, if being a vegan is not, you know, if it's done right, like I said, he's gonna have more likely gonna have the best nutritionist or dietitian around to make sure that what he's doing vegan wise is going to be productive to his body. And being vegan, you know, of course I can't be. I ain't gonna say I can't be. I just choose not to, because I like the meats. Pause. but for him, it's a great step. The fact of the matter is that he's looking to take care. That he's taking his health serious. You know, being a vegan, you know, that meaning that you're watching what you're putting into your body. And if he's that health conscious about his body right now, that just tells you where his mental mindset is. That's the type of guy you want to have, you know, being a part of your team, that physically he's looking into taking care of his body for the long run. It took Chris Paul several seasons to decide, okay, I'm gonna go vegan to extend my career. Cade Cunningham went, listen, I'm gonna start off vegan and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you know, like I said, it was even at a recent point where LeBron had experimented with the veganism in order to drop a few pounds in that championship year. So, like I said, it depends. I think right now the only thing he needs to focus on is strength, gathering some strength, and getting his body stronger. He still has a frame, a child's frame. He still has a kid's frame.
He's just 19 himself. So yeah, he's gonna have room to get some muscle and build up and be able to take on the NBA. But yeah, I can see it, because he really I haven't seen no problem with him getting to the basket.
Now, what if he does Giannis?
What if he does what?
What if he does a Giannis and grow another 2 inches over the summer?
Hey, listen, that can only but help him. That can only but help him, and it's definitely going to be something we look forward to. Most definitely, we, in my opinion, we hit a home run with Cade.
Yeah,
we hit a home run with Cade, and I look forward to seeing him going forward in the season, seeing his growth. He's going to be an all-star next season for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was close this season, if you ask me.
Question. Say for instance, we do get rid of Jeremy Grant.
Okay.
You think year 3, year 4, Saddiq Bey eventually get a shot at being an all-star?
If he stays consistent, yeah. The only issue with keeping Saddiq Bey from being an all-star is him being consistent with his shot, because he could be cold and then in a minute he's like the modern day microwave, if you ask me, because he can get hot quick and fast, and he could put up 9 points in 30 seconds. You be like, oh, Saddiq ain't making no points, and next you know, boom, 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 he got a quick 9 points. That's, you know, the thing about these shooters. That's what about him. But he could be work on his defense a little bit more, get his offensive game down. Yeah, I can definitely see him I can see him being an all-star even with
who said
Grant being here.
An all-star this year? Who said that?
I said he
this year?
Yeah.
Oh well, no.
Yeah, I say he's I ain't say he's an all-star level. I say
he'll be
When
playing.
we was rookie of the month. That's all-star level type play he had.
Right.
So, he was getting some nods a little bit too, but I wouldn't say nowhere near. I mean, think about it. Look who else is who's making the all-star. He's not nowhere near. He's just he's close.
Like I said, the fan, it ain't even about the fan game to me is not as important as people make it seem. The All-Star game is a fan game, bro.
Exactly.
Getting votes from fans, bro. Like I said, it's not what people make it out to be. When you on that list, when you on those, those all NBA teams, when you on those all defensive teams and things like that, that's more important to me. Cade definitely is going to take, some more leaps forward throughout the rest of the season. Like I say, him and Sadiq Bey both got a whole nother half a season left. So, they're going to get better. And hopefully our team can just stay healthy so these guys, really feed off of each other, because we've seen before Cade went out, him and Sadiq were starting to feed off of each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, man, it makes it interesting when you think of it from that way. And another thing, when you look at it, if we do go out in free agency and get bigs, or if we go and draft and get bigs, what are we going to do with Isaiah Stewart? If his production is not where we want it to be, he's going to end up going to the bench,
which is fine. In my opinion, because to be honest with you, out of the let's be real, Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart was drafted honestly to come off the bench. It's just that they played so well that they elevated themselves to be into that starting lineup.
Yeah.
I believe the best thing for Isaiah Stewart is to come off the bench, in my opinion, because he's going to be that energy coming off the bench. He's going to give you the boys. He's going to give you. He's not going to have that pressure, and I believe it could be like a switch. Killian can come in and start, and Isaiah Stewart can come off the bench and be that physical presence coming off the bench, and he could be more relaxed and not have to take all the wear and tear of being a starter, playing out of position. And if we bring in a big, in my opinion, it may look like Isaiah Stewart may come off the bench. If he do start, he'll start, but the guy coming off the bench is get the starters minutes, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty much what Killian is doing. He's playing more minutes than Corey right now.
Right. He could do that role.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's a good thing about what Troy Weaver drafted. He drafted guys that can fill in the starting roles. They got their opportunities. But if we bring in a solidified all-star caliber center or guard, it wouldn't hurt them guys to come off the bench. It'll actually benefit them. And them guys were drafted. Isaiah Stewart was drafted, in my opinion, to come off the bench.
The thing with Sadiq Bey, he was drafted as a 3-and-D guy, Joshua. The thing is, in one season over the summer, he decided to develop his game around the basket a little bit more. We see him take a pretty nice leap for somebody to do that in one off season.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that he works in his work ethic, I think he's going to bring more dimensions to his game, and it's going to help him propel and be more successful, because you got a player like Cade Cunningham who's not selfish. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Cade is not a guy that's going out trying to give you 30, 35 points a night. He wants to win. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And Sadiq Bey is showing that, hey, I can play in this league. I can play in this game, and I can play at the highest caliber. So, yeah, he could definitely be. Only how I could see him going out right now, see Sadiq Bey going to the bench, is if we get a higher caliber guy at his position, which I don't see us being able to do that, to fill that. So I believe he's solidified in the starting lineup. But as far as Hayes and Stewart goes, those two guys, they can be, interjecting in between, coming off the bench and going into the starting lineup. And it wouldn't hurt us because, we have starter calibers guys coming off the bench.
And that's why I brought the question up, simply because of the way he developed himself is the reason why I say he can eventually get to that point, because he's doing more. If you look at the stat sheet over the last 4 to 5 games, he's giving you more than just shooting. You know what I'm saying? Even the night where he scored 31, he only shot 3 3-pointers and made them that night. I mean, he only made 3 3-pointers that night. He gave you 31 the old school way. You know what I'm saying? So, and he was getting to the free throw line. It's another thing that he's been doing. So you look at that, it's like, why do we continuously put brakes on this guy? Not you per se, Willie, but I put this poll out on Twitter, and they put brakes on this dude. Like, yeah, he's just gonna be Chris Middleton, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Why do you put brakes on? Why do you think this guy cannot continue to develop his game and do something a little bit? Chris Middleton is no bad player at all.
Not at all. Not at all. But let me ask you this, and this is what I had a little frustration at, and I don't understand this concept, especially when you work as hard as Saddiq Bey has. Why was it so much talk, and why has it been so much talk that a guy like Jeremy Grant is what is hurting Saddiq Bey or holding Saddiq Bey back from being the caliber player that he was?
And we know, like I said, me and you know that it was the beginning of the season, guys were shooting bad. You know what I'm saying? Guys couldn't get it together. So they was relying on Jeremy Grant. Well, since Jeremy's been back, they have not collided one bit. And Saddiq Bey's scoring has not went down one bit. So that kills that whole conversation.
And for me, it killed from last season, because they played together last season just fine. It was just like you said, Saddiq Bey had a slump, and it wasn't like he wasn't given the opportunity. And that's where I was trying to get through to people like, oh, we need to get rid of Grant because he's holding up Saddiq Bey development. And I'm like, how? When Saddiq Bey got the green light to shoot whenever he touches the ball.
Yes.
Whenever he touches the ball. It just wasn't falling.
It wasn't falling, right. He was going through the same thing the whole team was going through.
Yeah, and the problem was that when we needed a bucket, we had to go to Grant. Grant, he can get you a bucket outside, and he could post up and shoot over whoever he's guarding and get a bucket. That's what we needed. We needed somebody to give us the buckets.
You draft a bunch of guys, they come out in their second year, some of them first year, they struggle to shoot the ball. You're going to look to the vet. You know what I'm saying? You're looking to the vet. This vet, they prepare during the offseason a little bit different than these kids do. So, of course, Jeremy Grant come in the door knocking down shots. Yeah, he knows how to prepare over the offseason. These kids are learning. They're learning. You know what I'm saying? They're learning on the fly without veterans, if you want to be honest about it.
Exactly. And that's the big thing about it, is that we had the veterans when we drafted them. But like you said, we let the Derrick Rose go. And of course, everybody was ready for Blake Griffin to get up out of town. And that's what it's supposed to have been. Them guys what's supposed to be starting
right
to begin with. And that's why I have to remember in regards to Killian Hayes was that he was, like you said, we had starting guard here, and he was supposed to be a development project, but he was thrust into the start lineup, got hurt, and then now he's coming back and still thrust into the start lineup and didn't have a chance to sit back and watch and learn, which it can cause you some problems development-wise when you got to be thrust into something that you wasn't prepared for. But like you said,
here's the thing with I have a problem when people compare the situation with Saddiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart. If anybody in this comment section ever played basketball, point guard is a whole different world than just being a guy that's supposed to be a shooter, than just being a guy that's supposed to be an energy guy to get rebounds and block shots. Mm-hmm. Those two roles ain't nothing like playing point guard. Nothing like playing point guard. You have to be the thinker out there. You have to control everything. You have to check 9 times out of 10. You have to defend the best players on the court. So it's a little bit different when you thrust into that, especially walking in the door at 18 from France. Not, coming from college. You coming from France where it's glorified rec ball. So you have to look at those situations. He should have started on the bench.
Yeah.
He should have started there.
Yeah, most definitely. So I think we talk Pistons a little bit enough. You got some final say on these on your Pistons, King?
I'm just ready to get the second half of the season. I'm ready to get through this deadline. I'm ready to get the second half of the season rolling after the All-Star break. And I want to, continue seeing this development. Hopefully we stay healthy. I just want to see them stay healthy.
That's my main thing is, can we get healthy? If we get healthy, I see some progress the second half of the season. And then from there, going to free agency in the draft. So definitely looks something that, I mean, for me right now, the Pistons they're not a bad watch anymore. Early on the season, it was a tough watch, but they're competing again.
Yeah,
they're getting close games, and like you said, we get healthy, get everybody back in. We can really make some fun out of the second half of the season. But I do want to get into a little bit of Lions talk because, like I said, we had the Senior Bowl yesterday, and it's some things that we're gonna get into. So let's jump into that, and we're gonna talk.
W3 Kings in the building at Culture Detroit.
Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard.
Ken, you put a poll out there on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
And it asks a question, and I want you to go ahead and can you give the results of that poll that you took? Get the drum roll going.
Coming up. Where's my poll? Okay. Should the here we go. Let me get my jaw ready. Should the Detroit Lions consider taking Malik Willis in the first round? Results: leading 42% yes. And that is so far out of 200 votes. So
I voted yes.
Yeah.
I voted yes. Now, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'm gonna just say I voted yes too with stipulations. And I know you're gonna explain it well, so I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Well, let me jump in on this one because, like I said, we watched the Senior Bowl yesterday. Of course, you seen Malik Willis out there and the things that he was able to do, despite not being able to pass the ball much because the offensive line block was terrible yesterday. We didn't really get a chance to see. We did get a chance to see his arm, just didn't get a chance to see him consistent enough because he was always running for his life.
Right. Sound familiar?
And when you posed the question, and I started thinking because this has been a talk for a while now because me and Big A was going back and forth because I was saying, hey, Malik Willis is a potential that he could be the first quarterback drafted in this draft. And a lot of guys were saying early on, like, no, he's not this, he's not that. I wouldn't take him here. If the Lions pick him, of course, I don't believe he needs to be picked with the second overall pick. But that second pick is very interesting to me because, for one, if he's there, and I don't believe he's going to be there because the guy got some skill. If he's there, I wouldn't pick him with that pick, but I would pick him with the first pick of the second round because he's going to be there. Reason why is because unless somebody trade with Jacksonville, he's still going to be there. Jacksonville doesn't need a quarterback. We could, but if we don't want to push that button and decide to draft him with that second pick, I'm all for it too. Reason being because he is one of the best available players, not just quarterbacks, players available. Okay. And y'all got to think about it. He's not going to be brought in to be the savior of the franchise. We don't need a guy to come in to be that. With that pick, with that late pick, he's got time to sit and develop because we can deal with Goff. He's going to sit back and have an opportunity to learn, not to be thrusted into a dire situation. Also, with the Lions have, he's not going to be coming in a situation where he's going to have to be running for his life. So if we do decide to play him, he's going to be in a great position because we finally did something right and developed an offensive line that any quarterback that we have is going to be good back there. So he's going to have time to be able to, if he does go in and play, he's not going to be running for his life. And if he does run for his life, you see this type of speed that young man has?
Absolutely.
The type of speed that he has, we could work with his legs until his arm gets there, and he has a strong arm. And also, you also got to think about the type of weapon that he's going to be in the red zone. If we draft him and put him in the red zone and put a package together for him in the red zone with him, with the DeAndre Swift, with the Amara St. Brown, running an RPO, why would you not have that type of talent available on your team? So when guys was getting up in arms about, oh, why should we get Malik Willis? No, guys, chill. Think about it. We're not going to bring him in to save this franchise. Right now we're in the process of building this team outside of a quarterback. So when we do get a quarterback, all he has to do is just be a quarterback and not be the savior of the franchise. And also, even if we draft him late in the first round or even in the second round and he doesn't work out, or he's not playing right away, we still could draft the quarterback next season too. It's not like it's going to cost us to draft that guy at that pick, in my opinion.
Well, let me interrupt. As I look at Jalen Green, kid gonna be good, man. Don't take none of that personal I said about Jalen Green. Listen, the Detroit Lions. Yes, we have the Rams pick. Will he be there? We don't know. We see what the media say. We see what the hype is from the Senior Bowl. Come on, we got to look at who all played the Senior Bowl. Okay. The film. The film is my only question, because when you look at the film, you'll say no way he goes in the first round. But when you look at the potential, the athleticism, what he can bring to a team, you'll say, okay, maybe he does go in the first round. So we don't know. My thing is the Lions, if you do have an opportunity to move up, will they do it? I don't want them to. I like Malik Willis, but I feel like the Lions situation is a situation where we don't have to be that drastic in this draft to do that. He literally would just have to fall to the Lions if I'm on board with it. I don't want to move forward. I don't want to move nowhere. We are not in a situation this year where I feel like we have to do that. So, like I said, the thing with Malik Willis, the athleticism, he can run, he got a strong arm. When you watch the film, he's extremely raw. He's extremely raw. As far as getting through his progressions, it's just something that you don't see on field. Staying in the pocket, being consistent with that, something you don't see on field. So, like I said, at times there's problems with accuracy. I over the last week, I've probably watched at least about a good 3 full games at night before I went to bed with Malik Willis. Right. Like I said, the film just says second round pick at the highest. So,
but see, that's what I mean, King. That's what, when I say, and they say, Big A was saying waste of pick, it wouldn't be a waste of pick because he would be brought in more than just a quarterback. I mean, you got a guy over there in New Orleans getting paid buku money that's been a backup quarterback for the last 5 years and getting paid starting quarterback money, and he's not even a starter over there. And you've seen athletically wise what the guy brings. So it's not that he's just a quarterback. He's one of the top available players in the draft. And my God, how would it be a waste of pick? Listen, we drafted Giovanni Tavai in the second round. We drafted a Tease Tabar in the second round. We drafted a Kerryon Johnson in the second round. So it would not be a waste to have a quarterback that you can sit there and learn the game, and you could bring in in packages that can elevate us. He's a weapon, not just with his arm, but with his legs, which is going to cause the defense to have to try to figure out a scheme against this type of guy. You watched him in the Senior Bowl yesterday, the way he's able to move. If we need to get them yards, we got that. We don't have that right now. Look at the backup situation that we got right now at quarterback. We got Jared Goff and the Goffs as the backups. He is an added element that we can use and we could develop, and it wouldn't be a waste. In my opinion, it would not be a waste if he's there. But this is wishful thinking for me, because I don't see him being still at the 32nd pick or going to the second round, because there's going to be a lot of hype, right? Because it's, NFL is the right now type of league. And right now he's the hottest thing going because of what they're seeing. And then you're going to have the combine, and you see how a lot of these quarterbacks you didn't see before, but got hot over the next several months to where their draft stock rise.
But see, like I said, some people feel like just from the Senior Bowl, he may be the first quarterback off the board. I think that's absolute baloney. But then when you look at the NFL teams, when you go down the list of the teams, it's some teams that need a quarterback, but it's not a whole lot of teams that need quarterbacks to go up that high to get him. It's just not. These teams have bigger holes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So him falling will not be something that's a stretch for me. It's just not.
Right.
So if he does, like I said, if he falls somewhere around that area and they do it, I wouldn't do it. But I'm not going to be upset about it. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? I got enough, I believe enough that Brad Holmes is good enough at drafting where he can go and find some guys in any round.
Yeah.
But based on our history with this franchise, you just got to have that feeling like, bro, we just don't need to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. Yes, you can develop him, because that's why I said the first word came out of my mouth was he's extremely raw. He's raw talent. He is literally raw talent. That's what he is. He's not polished at all. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It's going to take him.
But see, I use this one. They were saying the same thing about Lamar Jackson. Remember, he had all the physical ability, but he was raw, and he ended up getting drafted late in the first round. He wasn't brought in to be the starter, because they still had Flacco. But eventually he worked his way in, and then he used his abilities to get him there. For me, that's what I'm using that as a board as what the Lions could do. Because like I said, it's not just him at quarterback that intrigues me. It's the ability that he has to be able to stretch the defense and do things that we have not seen here in Detroit in how long? That's what, and he is one of the top available guys. And we always say that we need to draft the best available. And if he's still there at 32 or 34, he is the best available. We need to take him, because it's like, what is to me, it's not going to be a waste. And what are we giving up? Like, who are we not drafting to say, oh, we got a Malik Willis that has a lot, that has potential, and it's not going to cost us.
Well, first of all, Big A, you need to get out the comments and get your ass in here. How about that? But this situation, I'm tired of seeing this thing with the Bryce Young and the CJ Stroud thing. Bro, we not drafting that high next year.
Not at all.
So y'all got to get that out of y'all mind now.
And that's another reason why. King, is because we're not going to be drafting that high, because we're going to be in a better position next year. So we're not going to, because eventually we're going to have to bring in a successor to Goff. If we're not going to draft him, because we're not going to be that high, we're not going to get in free agency, we're going to need a successor. So why not? That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's more pros than cons if he's there and available. To me, he's not. I believe his stock is rising. We're not at risk. We got somebody that we can work on and build on and use. We're not going to be able to draft a CJ Stroud or Bryce Young because we're not going to be drafting at 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 next season because we're not going to be as terrible, in my opinion. Why not? That's the thing. But think about it. Like, guys, you got to think about it. Why not? Why not? And it wouldn't be a risk to me because it's not going to. The thing is this though, the way the Lions is going, it's not going to cost us, especially with the coaching and the GM that we have and the draft picks that we've used from the previous season. It's not going to be a waste because I believe in these guys being able to draft properly based off of what they did the last draft. So it wouldn't be a waste of a pick to sit there and have a guy that we can develop and don't have to rush in and be the savior. Like, we're not asking this guy to be the quarterback savior of the Lions. We don't need that right now. We just need a fit, somebody that can fit in because we're building the team to be able to prepare to have a quarterback to come in.
Yeah, we
could develop him, and if he doesn't work out, to me it's not going to hurt because our team itself is good to where we could plug in any quarterback. That's what I'm looking at. The team that we're building right now is not need to be a quarterback led all world type quarterback team. I mean, we got golf at the helm. You feel me?
This make me sick, man.
Listen, and this is hypothetical because I believe he will be. And me and King, not King, but me and Big A, we already got a bet going that he may be the first. And honestly, if you heard the talks, it's a possibility. So,
like I said, I've heard, like, the reason why I say I don't believe it, I've heard this type of hype come out of the Senior Bowl before, man. I don't believe it 1 second. When you still look at a lot of even the top professional mock drafts, man, they still got him going around 36. So I think they will have a shot to get him, but I almost feel like they might have to when you look at it because the Lions are not going to do another tank job this season. They're going to go out and they're going to be a mid-level, mediocre, winning team, even though they're going to play hard.
Yeah,
they're going to be one of the middle of the pack teams, and we are not drafting nowhere near the top 5 or the top 10. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do with this situation.
But the thing is this, though.
I do believe he's going first from Pittsburgh, man. I do, too, Harrell. But, yeah, I don't know, man.
But see, that's the thing with the draft and with, like I said, with the combine and the scouting, and we've seen a lot of flip-flopping going on.
That might elevate it though. The combine is probably gonna elevate it for him.
That's what I was just trying to get to you guys is that
all the wrong ingredients, man.
And that's what I'm saying. It happened.
I get what you're saying, but
I'm not saying that is. I'm listening to the thing is. I'm not saying that is right. That's what I think y'all thinking. I'm saying that it's the right thing. But we seen combine heroes before. We seen how these GMs get these guys into these rooms and get these guys in these combine, and they jockeying off each other because they're trying to outsmart each other, and they're trading up and they're doing this and doing that, trying to say, "Oh, I got this," or we need to take him because he's a gem. He may be that unpolished gem that can take our franchise to the next level. You got GMs that think like that, and that's what all I'm saying. And that's what I was trying to say to Big A last when I talked about that he may be the top pick because for one, he's that future style quarterback that the guys are looking for. You got the Mahomes, you got the Lamar Jacksons, you got the boy out of Arizona. This is the new wave. And you're gonna have some GMs that's gonna want to ride that new wave of a style of quarterback. to have that on their roster. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's a thought process. It's not that he may not be the best pick. He probably wouldn't be the first pick. I'm not saying he would, but I'm just saying because guys try to think outside the box a lot. These GMs try to be sneaky, trying to be.
That's the Lions' problem, though. That is their problem, trying to be the smartest guy in the room. That has been the Lions' problem, though. And that's
But at that pick,
Brad Holmes has something to do with Jared Goff being picked over there with the Rams.
But he was the best available at the time. Like he was the best available at the time, and it's like it didn't work. He took the team to the Super Bowl.
He ain't took nobody no goddamn where. Stop saying that.
He was a Super Bowl playing quarterback in his third year, so they got their money's worth because he took them to the Super Bowl, or he got them to the Super Bowl, or he was there when they went to the Super Bowl under his rookie deal.
His whole playoff career, Matthew Stafford already out touchdowned him already, and he ain't played in the Super Bowl yet. Jared Goff ain't never put that team on his back and won a game. Never. Not even in the regular season. Never.
Listen, Big A, I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just speaking on, we know how this cat and dog dance go during these times. Everybody's going to try to jockey to see who's what and what's what when it comes to these GMs and these picks. And it's always somebody that tries to outthink or outsmart or pick another team. Somebody might be trying to pick them up just to keep them away from another team. Somebody might be trying to play hardball and make you trade up the draft because they're saying, listen, I'm going to get this guy. That's the games that they play. So let's not act like GMs and these teams don't play these games. So I'm just saying, like, you guys got to think about all the elements when it comes to this draft thing. My God, Mitchell Trubisky got drafted over Mahomes and Watson because the Bears traded up to do that.
The Bears,
they tried to outthink everybody else, thinking like, oh, we got a diamond in the rough in Mitchell Trubisky, and drafted him over Mahomes and Watson.
You're exactly right. The Bears are idiots. They just moved up and did it.
So how many other idiot teams that we have out there, including one of our own, that won't do that? And that's what I'm trying to get through, you guys. And to me, if the Lions did it back in that pick, it wouldn't be a bad pick. But if they traded up to do it, then I'll be like, no, they shouldn't have done it. If he's sitting there and we got the pick, take him. But we don't need to make no moves. We don't need to trade. We don't need to do anything else to do that. But if he's there, take him. It's not going to hurt.
Like I said, if he's there, same thing for me. You can take that opportunity. I'm not saying I will personally do it, but you can, because you also have multiple picks in the following draft next season too. So you have time to shore up some things. Thank you, sweet. All right. Anyway.
Where my plate at? Tell her where my plate at.
You have some time to shore up some things, you know what I'm saying, during the offseason, free agency, and then you got another draft the following year, like I said, with multiple picks. So I wouldn't be the most angry. And I honestly don't think you have a shot at neither of the quarterbacks that we've been talking about in this 2023 draft. So I don't think the Lions are going to be in that position to get those guys. So like
they was also locking in Sam Howell as a potential pick for the Lions too.
Yeah. So, but he ain't gonna be there. So
right, because it's still a quarterback driven league. The guys is going to try to take them risk on. So yeah, it was just, I just wanted to get that out there because, like I said, when you drop the poll, I say, wait a minute. I'm like, I think you guys is a little too hard on the guy based off of the fact that if you look at where the Lions are and where they're going, it wouldn't hurt. And if he doesn't pan out, I don't think it's going to hurt us either, because we can always either go through free agency or draft. It's not going to hurt the Lions where it sets our franchise back, because he's not going to be, no quarterback right now, I believe, that we get is going to be brought in to be the franchise saving quarterback. So it wouldn't hurt, in my opinion.
I get what you, man. I feel you. We got to talk about this situation. What we doing with Trey Flowers? Are we gonna cut him? If we cut him, we save $10 million in cap.
We could try to trade him, then cut him. But I don't think nobody's going to trade for that contract. But if they don't, we got to cut him. We got to cut him. I want him gone in the worst way. I hope that's the first line of option that the Detroit Lions do is cut him immediately, cut him expeditiously, cut him as soon as you possibly can, because he has been a waste of money since he got over here from the Patriots when our former GM and coach signed him to that contract. I want him gone. I want him out of here. He needs to go right away. Get him out. He don't got to pack a bag. Just go. Or if he's not here, if he's at home, wherever he stay where you are. Don't worry about coming back. We'll airmail everything of yours to you. Bye. Deuces. Chuck him.
Go back to the Patriots.
Go back to the Patriots. And what's crazy, he'll go back to the Patriots and be a goddamn success story again, because that's how it is.
Yep, that's how I go.
That's how I go, man. That's how I go. But hey, listen, check this out. Listen, King over there eating, man. We've been rocking for almost 2 hours again. So I think it's time we can wrap it. I think we had enough talk for today, man. So go ahead and let you eat, man. I'm going to go ahead and figure me out something too. But you got any final thoughts, man?
My final thoughts is it's about to get boring. The Pro Bowl is absolutely it's a disaster.
Trash.
I wish they
Pro Bowl is trash.
Continue it. It is a joke.
Trash.
Man, yeah. All we're gonna have right now is Red Wings and Pistons. So, like I said, until we can get to the draft, man, it's just gonna be kind of boring for us football lovers.
Well, we got that USFL is going to be starting soon, so we jump into that a little bit. But listen, also I got to give a shout out. Listen, I know Michigan been taking some L's this week, but I got to give a W out to the women basketball team because they've been on a hot streak right now. They're winning right now against Iowa, and they're the tops of the Big Ten, and they're ranked number 5 in the nation. So shout out to the women's Michigan basketball team for holding it down. It's all we always talk about the men, but we gotta give a shout out to the ladies because the ladies hold us down too. And us, being Ken, you being a married man, and me, I was a married man. We know how important it is for our ladies to hold us down. So shout out to the Michigan basketball women's team for a tremendous season, and shout out to all the ladies out there. And if you guys are married, you got a special lady in your life, shout out to them too, because they definitely hold us down. Like you say, as you see King, his lady held him down and brought him a nice size plate. So we'll go ahead and let him eat. And listen, we're gonna let you guys go. We thank you guys for joining us. Listen, make sure you like, subscribe, share, donate. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, Instagram. We're on all the streaming services that you need. If you want to listen to the podcast again, like I said, it's going to be a little bit boring, so we're going to add some more different topics too outside of sports so we can be able to rock with each other. So most definitely look forward to that. Also, I almost forgot, we got to make sure we give a shout out to our sponsor, Culture Detroit. Of course, Culture Sports had jumped in with us today, but I guess he got busy up there at the store. But shout out to Culture Detroit. They're our official sponsor. So we'll go ahead and let you guys go along. Peace out. We 3 Kings out, fellas.